So this is a Raspberry Pi. It might seem small, but this is literally an entire computer, commonly used to explore computing and tinkering with a credit card-sized computer for beginners. You might not believe me, but it is actually runnable by connecting all the needed ports like HDMI, USB, and power. See, it turns on. However, that's not the purpose of this video, but it is the entire basis on how my snack machine works. You see, this pinboard on the Pi is what really separates this piece of machinery from an ordinary miniature computer. Using these pins, you can connect external components to the Pi. But the thing is, once connected, you can move and modify the actions of these components using code, which you can run with the interface that it has built in. So when Ms. Thompson said that we were making a snack machine for a project, my mind instantly went to the field of robotics. So, after doing a bit of research and brainstorming, I decided to construct a snack machine that could actually serve some purpose in my life. I decided to try to take a snapshot of what I was thinking and make a model of my idea. So here it is. So now you might be thinking to yourself, these aren't materials you would casually have at home. How would you build this? And to be honest, I thought that too, and was planning to make another design with some more, quote, home-friendly materials. However, I just asked my brother if he had something like an Arduino or a Raspberry Pi that I could work with, and surprisingly he did. If your family has a slight interest in tinkering and robotics, you might be able to have access to one too. So, the model on the screen. What are these components? How did they work? What does the machine even do? What is even the purpose of all of this? Well, my snack machine basically serves as a sort of snack dispenser. This here is a servo motor. It's simply a motor which I can connect a plastic blade to, and it spins. However, that's not all it can do. If I connect it to the Raspberry Pi, which we've discussed is a basic mini computer, we can actually control it, which is why this is so special. Now I'll be honest here and say that I didn't have this component at home, and I might have had to go to a specialized robotics store to buy this for a couple of dollars, but hey, it gets the job done. By connecting these wires directly to the Raspberry Pi pin board, which is circuitry that supports external components that the Pi can actually read, we can control the servo motor using computer code, more specifically Python, on the Raspberry Pi. By importing the servo motor into our code, we can now move the blades of the motor as fast as we want, whichever direction we want, and the specific angle we want. We are in advanced robotics right now. Now you might be asking yourself, how does this tie in with a snack machine exactly? Going back to our original model, you can see the blade of the motor taped to the cardboard lid of our bottle container. This cardboard lid now serves as our new quote-unquote controllable lid, which, connected to our servo motor, we can actually move using code. By moving the blades from 0 degrees to 180 degrees, we are essentially able to open and close the lid of our bottle remotely. So now that we've finished talking about the mechanics of my dispenser, let's test this thing out, shall we? This code right here basically imports all our needed classes like time and the servo, and waits for an input asking if we want a snack. If we say no, it'll say, alright, see you next time, and close. However, if we say yes, it will turn the motor 180 degrees, opening the lid allowing the snack mix to free flow. Wait a couple of seconds, then move back to 0 degrees and close. Now, with all this talk and build up, let's actually test this machine out. All in all, with all jokes aside, I think this machine could actually be useful for me in my day-to-day life. It doesn't just have to dispense cereal. It could dispense other things like coffee beans, oatmeal, and other coarse items, as long as it's not liquid, with actual ease and little spillage. You can just open a program, say yes to it, and it'll dispense food for you. You can even put the Raspberry Pi in places even in your kitchen where there's power and run it remotely from your main computer, but let's not talk about that right now. However, during building the dispenser, I did face quite a lot of issues, such as the motor's plastic blade being stuck on the cardboard or wall, and the cereal flakes being too big so they just jammed up the opening, which was certainly not intended, so this project was certainly not perfect. Finally, I just have to say that building this was quite a long and tedious process. Before this project, I had almost zero knowledge of anything robotics, and honestly didn't know where to start or where to buy some components. And I forgot to buy a certain cable which came last minute. This week was a struggle, but if I could manage the basics of robotics and construct a snack dispenser in 4 days, you can too. Now, be right back. I'm gonna get a snack to eat.